How we all deal with worry is a key to our investing success. This series breaks down the different types and which one you might be. So in a prior commentary, we talked about the deadly assumptions that investors can make, one of which is how they approach worry, whether they do or they don't, and the different paths that leads us all down. We're gonna unpack that, as I told you we would, this week focusing on the people who worry. And those come in two different types, the Perma Pessimists and the arbitrarily anxious. Let's start with the Perma Pessimist. We're gonna talk about three parts to each one: where you're at, if this is you, the signs that it might be you, and where we need to get you to be. Where you might be at. Well, for the Perma Pessimist, they're always worried about something. It could be their personal financial lives. It could be that every 1% to 2% correction is going to become the next big nasty bear market. It could be about the fate of the world itself. Get that one quite often. You check in your account daily, up, down. It's having a visceral emotional reaction to you. You subscribe to a lot of newsletters or find yourself with the laptop in bed at night, checking Bloomberg or whatever it might be before you go to sleep, dreaming about what you read about, and have a lot of narratives, some of which could be very well thought out, very logical about all the things that could go wrong, whether it's in your personal world or the world in general. Where we need to get you to be. Biggest one is, look at the facts. When it comes to your personal finances, there's a plan for everyone. We've seen thousands of different lives. The goals, the dreams, what's possible certainly can be different, but in almost every case, you can get yourself to a position where the biggest things you worry about can be taken off the table. Second, around markets. We've talked about this, try to share quite often. Where is the market? What are those market facts? If you're someone who's always prepping for the next big bear market, you got to keep in mind that over the history of time, markets have gone up far more than they've gone down. Again, 75% of trading years are positive. So yes, bear markets do happen. Bad days in the stock market certainly happen, about 50% of the time to be statistically accurate. But that doesn't mean it's going to disrupt your plan. And you can't have half the days of your life as an investor being less than great just because the stock market happened to be down that day. As far as the world ending, not a lot to say on that one other than it may happen someday, but it hasn't happened yet. A lot of people have called for it throughout the history of time. A lot of people today walk that through. I mean, if it's truly over, there's a little bit of fatalism in that there's not a whole lot you can prep for. But even some of the things that people try to prep for, I'm not sure would really play out. I've shared this story before about the gentleman I knew who grew up in Nazi Germany in a Jewish family, and he loved investing, and he talked about how so many people are so counterintuitive when it comes to how they approach investing and simultaneously carry that worry about Armageddon. He said, you know, look, everybody talks about buying art, getting gold, getting into cash or bonds. He said, you know, if you're running through the woods, if you're trying to escape, if you're trying to get away, carrying a big picture really slows you down, just like a bar of gold might in your pocket as well. You put it in the bank, they'll seize it. If you hold bonds, they'll write them off. If you hold cash, they might issue a new currency. But if you had a share of a company, if you owned a little bit of something, that very well might be there after the war or after the struggle as it was at that time. Now, he was the first one to believe in diversification, don't misunderstand me, but it was a great point around, particularly when it comes to investing, how counterintuitive solutions really can be. I'll leave you with this. It's not your research, but your and the world's resilience that's going to get you through. Point number two is the arbitrarily anxious. Where these people are at, these people make themselves miserable because they really haven't taken the time to define where they want to go and how they're going to get there. Some signs that this might be you. You find yourself saying something along the lines to, I need to blank because blank. And a lot of times, the first part, the I need to, is completely pulled out of thin air. I need $2 million. I need to prep for this. The why? Usually it has to do with three things: friends, feelings, or Fortune magazine. Some third party that's pouring their story, their truth, their outlook into you, and again, adding to that latent anxiety, that anxiousness that might come naturally to you to begin with. These people are also hesitant to take time to make a plan. They'll spend a lot of time reading articles on the internet, a lot of time talking to their friends that may not do anything around the investment world to get their thoughts and feelings, tend to, again, listen and look to others to help define what they need to do. Where we need to get you, where we need you to be, is to redirect that time and that trust, actually writing the story that you want to do, uncovering those goals, and then also understanding what is the path to accomplish it. The tagline I need you to remember is, you can't worry enough to work it out, but you can spend the time and the plan to get there. With that, I will share this. I'm a little bit of all of these. If I had to break it down, I don't want to pretend that this is just something that we see in our clients. It's something we talk about here at 10 Capital all the time. I've got a little bit of that Perma Pessimist in me. I'm a planner. I like to check in on things, but it's the day job. It's watching those people who have found peace or how we've helped to get them there that has really taught me to walk it back. Similarly, to not let my subconscious or those arbitrary goals that might be placed upon me lead to discontent or unhappiness. Love to walk this path with all of you, come alongside, balance this math and emotion anytime. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks.